My name is Huey Potts and this is an interview with my nana's next door neighbour Enid. She was evacuated during the World War II. How old were you when you evacuated?
I was 9.5.
Oh. When were you? Why were you evacuated?
We had to be evacuated because Manchester, where we lived, we didn't live far from the docks, and the Germans was bombing them, the docks, so we had to move, and our houses was getting destroyed.
Where were you evacuated to?
A place called Great Harwood, which isn't far really from Blackburn, and it isn't far really from Manchester, but it was in the countryside.
Next question. How did you feel when you were saying goodbye to your mum and dad?
Well, my dad was in the army, and my mum came with my brother and myself and my sister, who was only a few months old. So it was okay. We was all together.
That one.
Yeah, well, that one's about brothers and sisters, so we've answered that one. So
where?
What?
What did you think when you got there?
Quite all right, because I was with my mum. If I hadn't been with her, I would have been very upset. So it was all right because I had my gas mask.
What were the people like?
Oh, start again, Huey.
What were the people like when
you went to live with?
They was really lovely. It was an elderly gentleman and lady, and he was a councillor of Great Harwood. But the thing was, when we got to the train station, when we arrived, nobody wanted us.
Oh.
Nobody wanted you?
Nobody wanted us because there was my mother, my brother, my eldest brother, my older brother, me and my young few months old sister, and nobody wanted us because we had a baby.
Oh.
And so this councillor couldn't do anything else but take us.
Oh.
Had no choice, did
And what was it where you lived? Was it a shop?
No, a lovely house.
Was it?
Hey, what about you didn't tell me that this morning?
I know.
So was it a big house?
A big house, it was lovely. Very nice.
So did you ever... Sorry, go on.
How long were you evacuated for?
I think, I'm not quite sure, my brain's not quite right. I think it was getting on for 4 years.
Oh, that's a long
I'm not
time,
sure,
isn't it?
Huey. No. We had to go to school there, obviously. But the last place, I was evacuated into 3 houses. Not because they didn't like me.
And where's number 9?
Why did you tell us why 3 houses?
Well, the first time, we hadn't been there long when my grandma died. It's all right with that. My grandma died, so my mum had to come home because she was poorly. And we came home with... I stayed and I got poorly, so I was in hospital. I only got chicken pox or measles. And then I came home to stay with my mother for a few weeks. And when I was going back, I couldn't go back to the same house because the councillor and his wife were a bit old. So I had to go to another house, and she was called Auntie Crowther. She lived next door to a church. On a nice day, this church, it was the next house, this was this church, they had a garden parties, and I used to get on a stool in their backyard and stand up and watch everybody, and they got fed up with me watching every time. They used to come and pick me up, take me into the garden party. And then, after that, I came home for my uncle's wedding. And when I went back, I couldn't go back to that lady's house. I told her that this morning. Not because she didn't want me, but she was poorly and she'd gone to live in heaven. So I had to go into the best place ever, an off licence. An off licence, do you know what that is, Huey?
No.
It's a shop where they sell beer and wine. Ooh. And I had to go and live there, and I loved it.
Did you live above the shop?
I lived with the people.
Yeah, did you help in the shop?
Oh, no, I was too young.
Oh.
No. But every night in the winter, I didn't like it at first, but this is why I've got a taste for it. She used to give me, you know, a tablespoon, what your mum uses for cooking,
Yeah.
of port wine. When this first house, my brother couldn't stay there because there wasn't enough room. There's just enough room for my mum, myself, and my baby sister. So my brother just lived a few doors away. But my baby sister, you know what she had to sleep in?
Where?
You know your dressing table and you've got 3 drawers in it? She had to sleep in the bottom drawer because there was no bed for her.
That's like sleeping in your underwear drawer.
No.
Yeah, she had to sleep in the bottom drawer.
Babies used to do that. No, mums used to do that with the babies quite regularly, didn't
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
they? Yeah, I remember somebody else telling me that.
Yeah.
So how do you think it made... I mean, did it change how you felt about things being evacuated? I mean,
No, because you didn't really... Because when we came home, it was still being bombed in the area.
Mm.
We only came home, my brother and I, because my mother wanted us home.
Right,
Because it was only her with our Rita.
right.
So we came home, and we used to have to go when the siren went and the planes was coming over, you know, dropping bombs. We used to have to go to the shelters, leaning against the wall in case anything fell. Yeah.
Were you scared?
I can't ever remember being scared, honestly.
No.
I don't think children realise how scary it is.
No, no.
They just used to get
Bit of an
on.
adventure.
On that.
Okay. I think that answers all the questions. You're going to say thank you to Enid.
Thank you, Enid.
You're very welcome, Huey. That's it.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. You put music to it.
I am.
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler?
When you think that England's